Did Sony just pay a company to keep a game off of Game Pass? A new report has come out showing that Sony might be combating Game Pass with money instead of actually competing with the best thing in gaming. Let's get into this rumor and see what's happening, because this is pretty shameful if Sony is really keeping things from gamers. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so there's been this massive rumor going around when it comes to Resident Evil 8 Village. This game is coming out at the beginning of May and is one of the first big AAA games to come out this year. Not to mention it will have next generation features for consoles most of us have bought. And while the game coming out is exciting, that's not what's been at the forefront of all the news items regarding this game. What is being talked about is that Sony might be preventing Resident Evil and other games from joining Game Pass. Now, I have to admit that this is just something going around social media, but there has been a lot of journalists talking about this. So while nothing is confirmed or announced, we can see that something like this could happen. Let's get into what was said, but also see what the article mentions right here. Sony deal is apparently keeping Resident Evil Village from being on Xbox Game Pass. Supposedly, leaked documents seem to show a deal between Sony and Capcom that keeps Resident Evil Village off of Xbox Game Pass service. So right off the bat, we know that Sony might be targeting Xbox Game Pass because they know that a lot of people will flood over to Xbox if they can get high-profile AAA games day and date on the service. And why wouldn't people do that? They can play the same game but with better performance and also not have to pay $60 or $70. So yeah, the biggest threat that Sony is feeling right now is the amazing value Xbox provides to their gamers. And because of that value, Game Pass is growing at an alarming rate, much like the article mentions right here. Xbox Game Pass continues to grow in popularity, in large part thanks to Microsoft ensuring that the service has a constant stream of brand new games for subscribers to check out. In recent weeks, these new games have included AAA looter shooter Outriders, as well as the Sony-developed MLB The Show 21. One of the biggest new video game releases on the horizon is Resident Evil Village, and naturally, some fans are wondering if the game will be on Game Pass. So let's stop right there, because what this article is saying is very true. Xbox doesn't just want to have people join Game Pass and leave the service after a couple of weeks. No. They want people to stay there and continue to play on the Xbox ecosystem, so they don't need to go anywhere else to play their games. It's why the article mentions that Xbox has been locking down games like Outriders and MLB The Show 21. Not to mention all those other small games people talk about when they're on Game Pass. So not only does Xbox get those smaller games locked down with those other developers, they're also targeting big games like Resident Evil Village so they can bring even more people to the service, which is something Sony is trying to combat because they know they can't compete with Xbox. And the article mentions that right here. Unfortunately for everyone hoping to play Resident Evil Village on Xbox Game Pass, it doesn't seem as though that's what's going to happen, at least within the game's first year of release anyway. Some unverified documents reportedly detail an exclusivity deal between Sony and Capcom that ensures Resident Evil Village will not come to Xbox Game Pass within the first year of its launch. Reputable leakers have vouched for the document's legitimacy on Twitter by retweeting them, but the tweets have since been deleted. Fans should take this information with a massive grain of salt, but it wouldn't be hard to believe. Both Microsoft and Sony have signed limited exclusivity deals, with some recent examples being the Bethesda games Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop on Ps5. Both of those games are going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 5 for a certain amount of time, and once that window of exclusivity is up, they will have the potential to be ported to other systems as well. Now, this is where I see Xbox shaming Sony, because Microsoft and all the people that work at Xbox know that Sony can't compete with Game Pass. And like I've said in other videos, Xbox knows that other companies are going to try and compete with Game Pass and bring out their version of Xbox Game Pass, especially Sony. So what Xbox is trying to do is grab as many people to join Game Pass as possible before anyone else joins in on the subscription service strategy. Yet we never really talked about how Sony will compete with Xbox, which is something that is obviously happening right now. Yet I do have to mention that this should be taken with a huge grain of salt because none of this is confirmed, and to be honest, we might never know if this is true. But from the looks of it, Sony is making companies and developers sign contracts with marketing deals that tells them they can't put the game on Game Pass if they have a marketing deal with Sony. Now, I know that's annoying to hear, and to be honest, it irritates a lot of gamers, including myself, because while Xbox is putting money to provide their gamers with even more value, Sony's putting money up to take something away from gamers and give nothing, and I mean nothing, to their gamers. It's an anti-consumer move that only benefits the businessmen that run the company. Instead of trying to compete and making the gaming market even bigger, Sony decides to put money into something that doesn't benefit anyone but themselves. Even with these rumors of Sony trying to make something to compete with Game Pass, like the article mentions again right here. There have been rumors that Sony has an answer for Xbox Game Pass, but if so, it has yet to play its hand. While Microsoft's main strategy this generation seems to be bolstering Xbox Game Pass and getting as many subscribers as possible, Sony seems to be sticking to its guns, focusing on big budget, critically acclaimed exclusive games instead. And while Sony is producing plenty of its own first-party content for PlayStation, it's also penned a variety of deals with third parties to pad its exclusivity lineup. Now, I'll be the first to admit that if Sony made a Game Pass-esque subscription service, I'd sign up day one, because I do believe Sony has enough great exclusive games and first-party developers to compete. Yet the only thing holding them back is the money to make something like that. Now, of course, they have PS Now, which they can rebrand and make it into something like Game Pass, yet the only problem Sony has is that they seem afraid to take a risk by putting their first-party games day and date into a subscription service. Because like every service that first starts, the company that makes it loses money, because it costs a lot of money to make something. Netflix lost money, Disney Plus lost money, Game Pass lost money, you name it, and those services lost money for a little bit. Yet over time, the services gained traction and the content became much better. That's exactly what Xbox is doing right now. They're flooding Game Pass with so much content, it's overwhelming Sony, and they just can't compete with them. Which shows that a contract like this is something Sony will do, and it's something the article mentions right here. For these reasons, it's not hard to believe at all that Sony had some kind of deal in place with Capcom to keep Resident Evil Village off of Xbox Game Pass. After all, Sony and Capcom already do have deals in place in regards to Resident Evil Village, as PlayStation has been the lead platform for marketing and has had some exclusive demos. This includes the Resident Evil Village Maiden demo, as well as the Village and Castle demos, with the latter two releasing on PlayStation first before eventually coming to other platforms. And this is why I think the deal might actually be real. Yet if it's not, I'll be the first to say it's not real and be happy to admit that. But after seeing Sony lock down Spider-Man for Avengers, which was a disaster, and after seeing them lock down multiple in-game exclusives for Destiny, you can see that Sony always tries to lock things down and keep things from gamers on other platforms. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this shameful deal was signed, because Sony's just afraid of Game Pass and just can't compete with it right now. Yet it also shows that Xbox is probably approaching every single developer and publisher in the industry, trying to lock down games for Game Pass. They're not trying to take anything away from Sony fans or any other gamers, but just providing their fans with the best value in gaming. Talk about a great company that isn't anti-consumer. Let's hope this continues, but also hope that Resident Evil and other games continue to come to Game Pass, because I love the fact I'm able to play all these games for one single price of $15 a month. It's a great value and something that no one in the gaming market can compete with. But I do hope that Sony is working on something to compete Game Pass with, because that's only great for us, the gamers. And once Sony does try to compete with Xbox, they can end these shameful deals that doesn't benefit anyone at all, especially gamers. All it does is benefit the businessmen that run Sony, which to me is pretty shameful. But let me know what you think about all of this. Does it annoy you that Sony forces deals like this? Can Sony even compete with Xbox Game Pass? How many other developers has Xbox tried to reach out to? What other games do you think Xbox will target to come to Game Pass? Does this make you angry at Sony for doing something so shameful? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm working through Outriders. Me and my buddy been playing it pretty much every single night this week. I think we're pretty close to the end of the campaign because we want to get to those end game items where we get a bunch of gear. We love looter shooters. We love getting new gear, new weapons, new mods, and it's a really fun game. I love how the abilities work together so you can crit enemies. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff in the game. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. And I've been playing a lot of Bulletstorm and a bunch of other games. MLB The Show 21 is on Game Pass, so I've been playing that a lot also. I went straight to the Home Run Derby. Don't care, enjoyed it. I love Home Run Derbies. I love competing with my friends in those. And it's just a nice little relaxed way to play a game while you're in a party talking to your friends. And that's what I do a lot of. I enjoy playing games on Game Pass that really just are cool to play, get some achievement points, and you just have fun playing them. Because that's what we're here for, is to play games. But let me know what you're playing down below. Are you playing on your Xbox, your PS5? Are you waiting for Returnal like I am? Or are you playing through some of these games that are out there like Outriders? Let me know down below because that's what I love doing, talking games with everyone. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.